ActRaiser. Rebuild civilization as the Master in your Sky Palace and combat the forces of the Demon Tanzra. Side-scrolling action mixed with city-building simulation. One of the most innovative and enjoyable experiences on the Super Nintendo. Street Fighter Alpha 2, a prequel to the legendary Street Fighter 2. This fighter sports 18 characters, a revamped combo system, and gorgeous graphics. Music and sound could be better, but this is a must-play for fighting fans. Kirby Superstar, an action platformer sporting 8 different game types, and stars the beloved pink puffball himself, Kirby. Kirby can swallow enemies and copy over 20 powers in his quest. Transform a power into a helper that can follow and attack with Kirby. A must-play Kirby game. Supernova, a 1993 follow-up shooter to Darius, where you return to destroying fish-like spacecraft to save the world. Good replayability due to different possible endings, and staple shmup gameplay. Tecmo Secret of the Stars, a JRPG with a familiar story with some sci-fi elements. Combat is menu-based where you can fight, use magic or items, or flee. Later combination spells are unlocked. Fairly generic RPG with a bad translation from the Japanese original. The Death and Return of Superman, a superhero beat-em-up which features various forms of Superman to battle waves of enemies in Metropolis. Each Superman form has similar controls and abilities, and enemy variety is limited. A very mediocre showing for the Man of Steel. Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage. Spider-Man and his nemesis Venom team up to take down the chaotic Carnage in this beat-em-up. Graphically impressive with accurate artwork and smooth animations. Also features satisfying sound effects and a kicking rock soundtrack. Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow. The idol of Sabam has been stolen, and it's up to Maui Mallard to recover it. Maui has 2 forms, the detective sporting a bug gun with various ammo types, as well as the ninja form with his bow staff, a darker platformer for Disney's Duck. Super Bomberman Party Pack. Bomberman makes his 16-bit debut in 1993 and continues to blow up all that oppose him. With top-down play types, normal game, and battle mode, this is one dynamite battle. First Samurai. Take the role of an apprentice warrior whose master has fallen by the evil Demon King. Armed with your trusty katana, daggers, and axes, fight and platform your way through side-scrolling levels. A competent platformer for anyone willing to give it a try. Skyblazer, an excellent platformer where you control Sky, where he must save the princess from Ruglin, the Lord of Darkness. Our hero unlocks a plethora of special abilities which can be changed on the fly with the shoulder buttons. The very definition of a hidden gem. Secret of Mana. Villains seek to acquire an ancient weapon, and it's up to 3 adventurers to stop them in this classic action RPG. The ring combat command system makes for an engaging battles. This is a standout title for any RPG fan. The Legend of Mystical Ninja. Take the role of Kid Ying and Dr. Gang as they battle enemies in ancient Japan in this beat-em-up platformer. Gameplay switches up every so often to keep things fresh. This is an awesome game to play by yourself or with a friend. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4: Turtles in Time. The Statue of Liberty is stolen by the evil Shredder and Krang, and it's up to the 4 Turtle brothers to get it back. Each turtle has his own unique abilities as they combat the evil Foot Clan. A true masterpiece of a beat-em-up, especially when playing with a friend. Phalanx, an horizontal shooter where you, Wink Bowfield, pilot the archetypal Phalanx to repel the evil alien invaders. Weapons can be powered up or discarded for a screen-clearing finisher. This is a beautiful and fun shmup, but prepare to die a lot. Rex Ronan, experimental surgeon. An employee of Blackburn Tobacco, Jake Westboro, is dying from his sinister product, and it's up to experimental surgeon Rex Ronan to clean out the pathogens and plaque ailing Jake. It's a game about staying away from tobacco, but perhaps you should stay away from this game too. Super 3D Noah's Ark. Help Noah put the restless animals aboard the Ark to sleep in this biblical first-person shooter similar to Wolfenstein and Doom. Terrible frame rates make a movement choppy. Couple this with underwhelming graphics and this game is barely playable. Super Double Dragon. Marion has been kidnapped again, and it's up to the Double Dragon brothers to save her in this classic beat-em-up. In addition to punches and kicks, special techniques are introduced by filling your dragon power gauge. Another of the SNES's great beat-em-ups. Doom Troopers. Commandos Mitch Hunter and Max Steiner cleanse the solar system of the Dark Legion in this run-and-gun shooter. Dispatch enemies with your gun, melee attack, or special power-ups. A good-looking co-op shooter with pumping tunes, albeit it has some clunky controls. Super Adventure Island 2. Master Higgins awakes with amnesia and must collect weapons, armor, and magic spells to save his wife Tina. This action-adventure game offers great gameplay, responsive controls, and good platforming and puzzle elements. Another must-play on the SNES. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. A seal that blocks the powers of the evil Ganon is about to be broken once Zelda has been captured. As Link, you must rescue her and fight the legions of Ganon in both the light and dark worlds. This is definitely the best adventure game on SNES. Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars. The Star Road has been smashed into 7 pieces by a giant sword and the Smithy Gang. It's up to Mario and his companions to restore it. A match made in heaven with legendary Square and Nintendo to make one of the best RPGs of all time. Super Bonk. The evil King Drool has tricked Bonk and sent him into the future in this zany action platformer. Bonk has access to many power-ups that make him stronger, change his size, turn him invisible, and turn enemies to stone. Another good game for your platformer fix. Power Pigs of the Dark Age, a tongue-in-cheek platformer where you control Bruno of the Power Pigs and his quest to stop the evil Wizard of Wolf. It's a mixed bag that has charm and funky tunes, but is let down by the stodgy controls and harsh difficulty. Pirates of Darkwater. The world of Mur is dying, and it's up to Prince Rin to save it in this beat-em-up based off the cartoon show. Tula and Yaz are also playable, each with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. The cheap tactics of enemies can be grueling, but all in all, it's a good time. Stone Protectors. 5 troll rock band members must stop the evil Zoc and save Mithandir. Each troll can punch, kick, and use range attacks, but each has their own signature rocking special attack. Some repetitive enemies, but this is another beat-em-up worth a play. Axelay. The pilot of the Axelay Stratofighter must eliminate the leader of the Armada of Annihilation, a unique shmup that switches between horizontal and vertical shooter stages. Weapons can be leveled up to devastating levels. The graphics and sound add to its intense gameplay. Truly one of the great shooters on SNES. Fire Striker, a unique brick-breaking adventure similar to Breakout, where you control a striker which acts as a paddle. There are strikes of different elements that play similarly but handle slightly different in this different levels. A fun and unique game, but difficulty and a lack of a save feature hold it back. Soul Blazer. King Magrid has sold out all life to Death Toll, and it's up to the Master's hero to rescue the innocent souls in this top-down action RPG. Upgrade your armor and weapons as well as use magic at the cost of gems. A well-made RPG with fluid controls and varied graphics. Sink or Swim. A 1996 action puzzle game puts you in the shoes of Kevin, who must save the passenger crews of a sinking ship. It's your job to help clear a safe path for these mindless NPCs to reach the exit. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. King Arthur and his knights have been imprisoned by the witch Morgana, so Merlin calls upon the Knights football team in modern day to save England. You are to seek out 12 keys that belong to each knight. Only corresponding knights can collect said key, which causes some unfortunate backtracking. Shadowrun, a cyberpunk action RPG where you play as Jake Armitage as he uncovers who he is and his would-be assassin. Hack in mainframes, engage in firefights with enemies, and even hire other Shadowrunners to aid in the fight. This is an expansive RPG worth your time. Uncharted Waters: New Horizons. A step up from its predecessor, this sequel allows your inner sea dog to come out, manage a crew as their captain, stop in ports to hire new crew members, explore, or attack other ships. The choice is yours. Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, a turn-based RPG where you play as Maxim, a descendant of the legendary hero, in his quest to prevent the Sinistrals from returning. A beautiful game with high-quality enemy portraits. The high encounter rate can be taxing, but this is one quality RPG. Sonic Blastman, a 1993 beat-em-up where the hero battles against aliens, robots, and thugs to save Earth. With iffy hit detection, moments of slowdown, and less than stellar soundtrack, there are better brawlers on the system. Brandish, a top-down action RPG where you play as the swordsman, Varric. Moving around the dungeons rotates the entire screen to change perspective for Varric, which can be disorienting. Nonetheless, it is an intriguing adventure worth a try. Breath of Fire 2. Your character is separated from his family and must discover his destiny as a dragon clansman and assemble allies to stop a growing evil in this RPG. There is a high encounter rate, and grinding is essential. Despite translation errors, this JRPG is among the SNES best, having depth in story, gameplay, as well as excellent music and visuals. Metal Marines. Regain control of Earth from the evil empire in this outstanding real-time strategy title. Battles take place on an isometric war zone with two opposing islands. Gather intel, launch missiles or on installations, and mop up with Metal Marines. Definitely worth a play. Super Metroid. Brave bounty hunter Samus travels to the planet Zebes, where a Metroid is draining the energy from the planet. In addition to her normal cannon, Samus can access missiles, super missiles, and power bombs. Other power-ups give Samus the tools she needs to navigate the 2D levels. Regarded as one of the best on the SNES. Imperium. You play as a pilot of a high-tech suit taking down robots on a distant planet in this shmup. As you destroy enemies, your weapons slowly level up to become more powerful versions. A fun shooter with detailed graphics and a fast-paced music. Final Fantasy III. Magic has all but disappeared as technology has risen in its place in this lauded RPG. Your group of allies must stop the Emperor from gaining power from a mysterious magical source. This is a standout RPG that checks all the boxes for your RPG fans and stands out as one of the best of all time. Boogerman. Snodley Ragsdale, aka Boogerman, dispatches enemies in the most disgusting ways ever. Platform your way through levels and dispatch enemies with booger projectiles and noxious fart clouds. A playful and colorful adventure with nice graphics and animation, but it has its flaws. Final Fantasy II. Journey as Dark Knight Cecil as he begins to question the actions of his king and set on his own path in this early SNES RPG. The ATB, or Active Time Battle, ensures combat moves along as you and your companions dispatch foes. A fine entry in the illustrious Final Fantasy series. Knights of the Round. Retrieve the legendary Grail from evil in this medieval beat-em-up. Play as the balanced Arthur, the agile Lancelot, or the hard-hitting Percival. As you defeat enemies, your armor and weapons are upgraded. This is one badass beat 'em up. Robotrek. You play as a brilliant boy inventor who has a knack for building robots to battle the criminal troupe, the Hackers. Your robot companions have a host of different things that they can do in combat, like healing and customizable special attacks. Translations aren't the best, but this is a fun and a unique RPG experience. Home Improvement. Take on the role of Tim the Toolman Taylor in his quest to recover stolen power tools across a bunch of different movie sets. Tim has an arsenal of tools to use in his quest, like a nail gun, blowtorch, chainsaw, and more. Controls are slippery and enemies are tough to take down. Maybe play this only if you're really a fan of the TV show. Run Saber. Two cyborg ninjas, Alan and Sheena, must stop Dr. Buford from taking over the world in this 1993 action platformer. Both control similarly, jumping, running, and slashing with their swords. This is a visually gorgeous game with excellent music and controls. King of Dragons. A red dragon is preparing to scorch the kingdom of Malice, and it is up to one of 5 selectable heroes to defeat him in this classic beat-em-up. Each hero uses different attacks, like Wizard with spells and the Elf with ranged bow attacks. Another great beat-em-up on the system. Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Maxim of Elide must use his powers to stop the superhuman conquerors from taking over Lufia in this turn-based RPG. A prequel to the first entry, numerous improvements were implemented to make it far less of a slog. Another great RPG. Legend. Vanquish Clovis, the king's evil son, and bring peace to the land of Sulak in this medieval hack and slasher. Weapons, jumps, and magic attacks are available to you to mow down your enemies. The difficulty spikes during boss encounters, but this is one beat 'em up worth your time. Sparkster. The leader of the Rocket Knights must rescue Prince of Flora and thwart the evil Generalissimo Lioness in this action platformer. As Sparkster, you can run, jump, duck, and slice your way through foes. The graphics are gorgeous and the music is impressive. This is definitely a must-play on SNES. Dragon View, the sequel to Draken, where you must save your cherished Katarina from an evil madman. It has a pseudo 3D mode of traveling around the map, but switches to side-scrolling in battles. A definite improvement of its predecessor and an RPG worth playing. SOS. The cruise ship Lady Crithania has capsized in the North Sea, and you as the player must survive in this action-adventure title. Take the role of an architect, doctor, and a navigation officer, as you must choose to rescue others or escape with your own hide as the ship slowly sinks. Certainly a unique title on the system worth a play. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. The Power Rangers take on the forces of Ivan Ooze in this beat-em-up loosely based off the movie. Defeating enemies with punches and kicks drop lightning icons which fill up a power gauge. When full, you can morph into a fully powered Power Ranger. Satisfying graphics and controls, but can be a bit unfair. Blazion. You control the Garland spaceship that can copy the forms of enemy vessels in this horizontal shooter. The Garland adds its arsenal of weapons by turning into different enemy types. A slow scroll coupled with steep difficulty might make this one only for hardcore shmup fans. Hurricanes. The Hispaniola Hurricanes travel to battle Gorgons in a soccer match in this polished but peculiar action platformer. Choose between Cal or Napper to dribble and kick the soccer ball to defeat enemies. A fun but flawed title overall. Syndicate. This action strategy title puts the player in charge of a European syndicate responsible for deploying cyborg agents worldwide. Players maneuver their agents through zones, neutralizing threats and completing tasks. Password saves mar the overall experience, but it's worth a play if you're up for it. Final Fight 2, a somewhat uninspired sequel to the original beat-em-up. Hagar returns alongside two newcomers, Maki and Carlos. Once again, Hagar is brute strength, Maki is fast, and Carlos bridges both. The stages are somewhat simplistic, but at least it's still fun with a friend. Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics. Our caveman heroes Joe and Mac return to prehistoric action to recover the village crown from the evil caveman Gork in this 1994 action platformer. This sequel outclasses the original with interesting stage design, crisp controls, more to do, and impressive visual. Sunset Riders. 4 Wild West bounty hunters take down criminals in this amazing run-and-gun shooter. Each character has their own distinct weapon and can shoot in all 8 directions. The music, action, and theme are all top-notch. Another must-play on the Super Nintendo. The Flintstones, The Treasure of Sierra Madrox. The Grand Poobah is retiring, so Fred and Barney platform their way to reach the said treasure to become the leaders of the Water Buffaloes. Both can run, climb, jump, and club the prehistoric enemies. Beautiful game, but feels very samey in later levels. Artie Lightfoot. Artie and his pal Peck prevent the vile Visconti from exploiting the wish-granting power of 7 rainbow jewels. In this platformer, Artie can use his pogo stick tail to attack and jump, use a cloak to prevent fall damage, and move objects. It's a fun time, albeit a bit difficult. Mega Man Soccer. After suffering countless defeats, the evil Dr. Wily devises his own worst plan yet. Replace players in a major soccer match with his robotic warriors to secure world domination through soccer. The game has a variety of modes, allowing Mega Man to team up with former robot Nemesis and use their special abilities. The problem is the players run very slow and the AI is insanely challenging. Makes you want to play a real Mega Man game instead. Pocky and Rocky. Shrine Maiden Pocky teams up with a raccoon Rocky to blast through goblins in this top-down run-and-gun. With nods to Japanese folklore, this game is equal parts charming and challenging. Definitely a must-play on the system. The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. Play as the titular vampire as he uses his cape and hat to fight through garlic cloves, mummies, and ghosts in this action RPG. A fun and comical game and a joy to play through. Mega Man X2. Noble Robot X, aka Mega Man, must continue his battle against Sigma and his robot forces. The classic Mega Man formula of defeating bosses and gaining unique powers remains alongside other staples of the franchise, a superb sequel to the original. Demon's Crest. In this action platformer, you control the demon Firebrand from Ghosts and Goblins series as he searches to recover crests which were taken from him. As he defeats boss creatures, he recovers a variety of powers as he can morph between them. A game well worth your time. Nosferatu. Kyle must save his girlfriend Erin from the clutches of the evil vampire Nosferatu in this action platformer. Combat foes with a flurry of kicks and punches while navigating dungeons and avoiding deadly traps. Overall an engaging but difficult title. Biker Mice from Mars. Race around a variety of tracks as one of the 3 Biker Mice heroes or one of the 3 adversaries. Each vehicle has different stats in speed, acceleration, and grip. Just as in Mario Kart, items can be acquired to take down your opponents. Controls aren't perfect, but there's a lot of fun to be had here. The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Take the role of the Dark Knight himself as he combats the villains of Gotham. In addition to Batman's kicks and punches, he has an arsenal of other tools and weapons to utilize in the stages. Overall, a great experience, faithful to the animated source material. Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. In this strategy RPG, the player controls rebel forces to liberate cities, defeat enemy units, and rise up against the Empire. Deploy units in battles such as soldiers, spellcasters, and beasts. A very in-depth RPG with 13 different endings. depending on your player choices. Ninja Gaiden Trilogy return as the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa in this compilation of the first 3 Ninja Gaiden games on NES. Graphics are improved and play as the originals, but the brutal difficulty makes this one not for the faint of heart. Captain Commando, a 1995 beat-em-up where you control Captain Commando and his heroic friends to take on the sinister Scumicide and gang. Each fighter has their own unique movesets. Music isn't the best, but there's fun to be had here. Final Fight 3, the third installment in the infamous beat-em-up series. Play as Hagar, Guy, or Dean to smash in the faces of the Skull Cross gang. Combat has been upgraded with grabs, chain attacks, and other special maneuvers, perhaps the best of the entire series. Space Megaforce, another amazing entry in the LS series. You once again pilot a super advanced ship to combat alien forces. 8 shot types can be found on the vertically scrolling stages, all having vastly different uses. Stunning visuals and challenging gameplay make this easily one of the best shooters on the system. Incantation, defeat the evil wizard Necroman and reclaim the Magic Kingdom in this somewhat dull 2D action platformer. You control a young wizard that shoots different projectiles. Good platformer for younger gamers, but seasoned vets might want to avoid. R-Type 3, the third entry in the horizontal shooter series where you pilot the R-90 fighter to combat the BYDO Empire. You start by selecting one of 3 different forces which determine your shots, and the force unit can be used in a variety of different ways. Great graphics, hard-hitting music, and fun gameplay make this one of the best shmups on SNES. SWAT Cats. The SWAT Cats must save Mega Cat City from fierce villains in this platformer shooter. T-Bone is strong but slow, whereas Razor is quick but weaker. There are also Turbo Cat shooting stages. Good looking sprites, fluid handling, diverse backgrounds, and changing gameplay keep up the fun. Kirby's Dream Land 3. An evil cloud has possessed citizens of Planet Popstar, so it's up to Kirby to save the day. Not only can Kirby swallow and copy 8 enemy types, but his friends also join in the fray. Each friend has their own special abilities. The final Nintendo published game on SNES, and a great way to finish with this challenging but lovable action platformer. Sonic Blast Man 2. Sonic Blast Man returns to battle the intergalactic dictator Yafu in this sequel beat-em-up. Also playable is the speedy Sonya and the powerful Captain Choyir, with their varied moves and finishers, a step up from its predecessor. Harvest Moon. You acquire a decaying ranch and must transform it into a successful farm by planting, harvesting, building, caring for livestock, and so much more. This is where Harvest Moon started, and if you're into this simulation RPG genre, this is right up your alley. Evo, Search for Eden. A side-scrolling action RPG spawning eras. Start as a simple organism and defeat other creatures to level up and evolve into a more advanced creature. A truly unique RPG experience with infinite replayability. Chrono Trigger. What starts off as a simple gathering at a local carnival quickly turns into a race against time itself in this epic RPG. Travel through various time periods as Chrono to save the world from Lavos. Truly one of the best RPGs of all time. Mega Man 7, the classic Mega Man formula returns in this 7th mainline series for Mega Man. Wily has busted out of prison and you must defeat him and 8 more robot bosses that you will steal their powers from. The music and gameplay are the classic Mega Man flavor we've all come to love. Wild Guns. Annie and the bounty hunter Clint team up to take down the Kid family in this sci-fi western shooter. Take out waves of enemies with your blaster, lasso, and Vulcan cannon. Top-notch music, gameplay, graphics, and more make this a must-play. Super Turrican 2. Arm yourself once again in the Turrican suit and ready yourself to blast through enemies in this run-and-gun shooter. An arsenal of weapon types can be selected by floating icons in addition to your freeze beam and screen-clearing smart bombs. This is one hell of a good time. Castlevania Dracula X. As Victor Belmont, you once again must defeat Dracula and his ilk to save your beloved and her sister. Armed with his trusty whip, along with other weapon power-ups, defeat Dracula's minions in this side-scrolling action platformer. It's no Castlevania 4, but there's fun to be had here. Pocky and Rocky 2. Moon Princess Luna has been kidnapped, so Pocky the Shrine Maiden must rescue her. Rocky can also accompany her on her journey, or be swapped out for Little Ninja or Bomber Bob. Other friends can join in the frenetic action as well of this run and gun. Another awesome experience on SNES. Metal Warriors. The United Earth government is warring against Dark Axis and is up to the pilots of robotic suits, or ARCs, to turn the tide in this action platformer. Different ARCs can be piloted, each with their own abilities. Sound effects are puny, but the gameplay is mighty. Mega Man X3. Zero is now a playable character this time around, but more than likely you'll be using X to combat the robot masters of Dr. Doppler. X augments his abilities with helmet radar, robo-ride armors, and a vertical dash. Another great Mega Man game, albeit maybe a bit tougher than the others. Earthbound. A UFO crashes into your hometown, so you begin a journey to save the world in this quirky RPG. This turn-based RPG takes place in modern-day setting as opposed to a fantasy setting. A unique, memorable RPG that everybody needs to give a try. Hagane. The cybernetic ninja Hagane must stop the evil Como clan from stealing the Holy Grail. Hagane has an arsenal of weaponry at his disposal like grenades, daggers, grappling hook, and his trusty katana. A beautiful game with slick controls, but punishing difficulty.